Thanks for tuning back into another episode of Game of Cryptos. I hope you guys are all doing well. Today's video, I'm going to kind of go over some things that we saw in the previous bull run back in, some of the patterns that we saw in, price actions for the older altcoins back in that were popular in 2020 and into 2021. I want to go over something that I'm seeing in the charts that's very interesting, because I think one of the most important things to do, guys, is to see, okay, if there are some things about this bull run that mirror the last bull run, okay, well, what happened around this time last bull run? What happened in late 2020 into 2021? What happened there with the Bitcoin price action and other altcoins, so we can kind of potentially predict the movement of the altcoins that we're going to see in this bull run from the end of 2024 here, late December, and into, January, February, March of 2025. So that's going to be the main thing of this video. But before I get into that, just kind of going over, this was a picture that Murad had posted. Murad, for those of you, I know a lot of you know Murad is the meme coin guy. He's really big into, some of these coins over down here, like XPX, 6900, GigaChad, MOG, PopCat, all those types of cryptos. Something that is very interesting, there's so many interesting things that are happening in this crypto cycle. You have these, new cult memes that, Murad talks about, saying it's going to be a meme coin super cycle, and that, hey, all the liquidity, retail, everyone, they're just going to, screw the utility altcoins. Like, everything's just going to go into these, these cult coins. And what's really interesting, and I know a lot of you are probably wondering, like, what is going on with like XRP and HBAR and all these other older, they call them dino coins. Like why are they pumping? What I'm realizing, it's just the liquidity is flowing from certain sectors to others. So, and we're going to see continuously throughout the rest of this bull run and into 2025, we're going to see, there's going to be one moment where your AI coins are pumping. And then there's going to be another moment where your L1s are pumping, like your SUI, your Caspas, maybe like, Solana and whatnot. They're going to be pumping. There's going to be other moments where gaming is pumping. Nakamoto Games, Miria, Superverse, Beam. There's going to be, we're going to, the biggest thing is to not chase these pumps, guys. And yeah, it is very interesting to see like the old dinosaur cryptos pumping, XRP, ADA, Link, Doge. And for those of you that are in those places, congratulations, you made money. And for those of you that weren't, hey guys, it's okay. There's plenty of money that will be made in this cycle. But yeah, so speaking of some of these dino altcoins, this is what part of this video is going to talk about. We're going to look at some of the previous altcoins in the last bull run, and the point is to see, okay, what was going on during this time last cycle as far as market cap, price action, to see, okay, could we see that for this for 2024 into 2025. One of the first ones that I wanted to look at, Polkadot, guys, was very, very popular last bull run. Around, if we go on the chart, December 1st, 2020, the price of it was $5.09. So think of it right now as if right now it's basically this early December, and we're going to see, okay, where could potentially prices go of our favorite altcoins just in the next couple months, 3 to 4 months. Well, look what Polkadot went to. If we just go until around March, the beginning of March, it went to $35.59. And I actually wrote down, I have a lot of it already written down. So it went from $5.09 to $35.59. When you do the math, that's a 6.9x return, almost a 7x, just within a matter of a couple of months. And as you can see from this chart, guys, that's before we had the initial, first peak. And again, I've talked about this before, and I will say it again. I think we are going to see 2 peaks potentially in this bull run. Again, not financial advice, but it happened in the last 2 bull runs. So, hey, you can't put that out of the question that it is a possibility. And something like, so to even make it even clearer, let me go to this. I've even done a presentation where I talked about, okay, we had the November elections, the market went up, and then again, I think we're in this upwards momentum phase going into the peak number 1, which is April or May. Now, is there a possibility that this is the end all be all and this is our cycle peak? It could happen, but I think that we could get 2 peaks. And going back to Polkadot's price action from just December 1st to the March 1st, it went up a 6.9x just during that time. If we went and looked at, let's see, what's another one that I have? I think I have Avalanche on here. Let's see, Avalanche. Let's see, so we're going to go to the charts. We're going to go to all time. We're going to narrow this time frame in. So around December 1st, December 2nd, about $3.50. And then if you go to, again, so for this video, we're going to go to March 1st, $27.42. So doing the math, that's a 7.6x. And again, just like as a Polkadot chart, we're not even really including the main peaks. So obviously there's more returns that come even later. The parabolic point where there's that saying that you get like 80% of the return in the last 20% of the bull run. So again, as you see with these cryptos, and I would advise you guys to go and through, I have like 10 of them that I went through. I'm not going to go through all 10. I'm just going to go through a couple of the popular ones, but you're starting to see a pattern. Another one of the most popular ones, Solana, of course. How could we forget about Solana? We go to the all-time chart. Again, we just do the same thing. We're going to minimize, zoom in. We're going to follow the chart along. Okay, so December 1st, price of Solana it's going to be roughly around $2. It was about $2. And then you go to March 1st, you're getting around a $13 or $14 Solana. Guys, that came out to around a 7.3, 7.4x return. And I did the same thing for Cardano. I did the same thing for Polygon. Cardano came out to about a 7.11x. Polygon came out to a 11.5x during that same time period. And then the list goes on and on. And went to like Axie Infinity to Decentraland. Again, I have it all written down here because I did a little research before this. And it's interesting to know because I'm like, okay, if the cycle mirrors what happens this time, you could be look at your favorite cryptos right now and realize that, hey, these cryptos could potentially do that same amount of return just within the next 3 or 4 months. And I'm not talking about, obviously that's not going to happen with Bitcoin or Ethereum or really even like XRP or even Solana as far as getting like a 4, 5, 6x. I'm talking more plays like I wouldn't even really have Avalanche in there, but your plays like your Sui, your plays like Pepe. These are the types of cryptos that can make those types of runs just within that amount of time. And arguably, it's even before you actually go super parabolic. So like if Sui went and did a let's say Sui, if it did a 5x, because the average of the ones I went and talked about did a 7, but if it did a 5x, you have $3.62 times 5. You're looking at an $18.10 Sui potentially sometime between now and potentially March. That's if history repeats. If it goes to if it does somewhat similar returns of last bull run 4 years ago, that happened from this time frame, same time frame, from December 1st to the next year into the following year till March 1st, around March or April, you could be potentially seeing an $18 SUI, and that's not even the top of the bull run. That's not even the top. So again, these are just really interesting, really interesting things to just pay attention to. I do want to go back to the Solana chart because I want to do that same comparison, but I just want to look at market cap just so, it can further paint this picture for you guys. I hope it is making sense. So let's do market cap. So again, we're going to go to, so around December of 2021. So the market cap December around the same time was $85.86 million market cap. So in a matter of a couple months, 3 or 4 months, it went from 85 million to about a $3.4 billion market cap. That's the amount of return, guys, that these cryptos, that was a 7.5x in market cap just within a matter of a couple months. This is what could happen and play out in this next phase of this bull run that we're into. People are saying that, hey, now that the inauguration coming up, we got some more bullish catalysts that are coming, and a lot of people are predicting that we will continue to stay bullish up. I think some people think that the market's going to end and the bull run's going to end in April or May. It just, to me, if it did, that means that we would have to have like a really big black swan event for nothing to happen after that, to me, realistically. Because why did it happen the other 2 times, but it's not going to happen this time? That's just my way of thinking. But it is going to be very interesting. But yeah, guys, this video, it's not going to be too long, but these are the types of things that you guys should be researching to be able to better educate yourself as far as knowing, okay, when is the right time for me to, when's the right time for me to potentially sell? Like, knowing this type of information can potentially give you a better idea of like, okay, this is when I might want to sell my bags. For someone that might have a $25,000 portfolio, they only need a 4x to make 100K. And for some of them, that could be enough where they're like, okay, I'm good. So for some of those people, they could be ready to leave the market by March or April of next year. So just knowing these things can kind of give you a better idea as far as like an exit, a way out of the market. Everyone's always telling you about DCAing in. This is, get your money in, DCA, hodl. But now is the time to start thinking about okay, when am I going to sell? What time, when am I going to sell out of the market? And it's really important to just be paying attention to these, the macro, the news and the macro to give yourself a better idea. And studying the previous cycles definitely give you guys an edge to make you realize, okay, this is what could potentially happen if it plays out the same. And again, if it plays out the same, then that means we will see a double top, and that we could see even higher prices than the prices I just went over with you. But yeah, and then lastly, let's just check out the Bitcoin dominance chart. So as you can see with the Bitcoin dominance chart, we are at around 55%. We keep going down farther, which is great. Very good news for those of you that are in altcoins. And Bitcoin obviously will pump. I do think we definitely will top out well over 100K at the end of this bull run. Will be 150, who knows? We'll see where we end up, as far as Bitcoin price. But seeing this chart go down, the farther this goes down, the more your altcoins are going to pump. And again, if you guys watched my most recent video, I talked about this blue line down here, this 40% area. Last bull run when we kind of bounced off this and started touching it, it kind of marked the end of basically the end of the bull run. Like, okay, we've gotten the profits. It's time to, we got the most gains we can get. It's time to get out of the market. And the same thing happened if you go back to the last bull run. Once we started flirting around with that, low 40% dominance, that was kind of the end. That was like the last bit of gas that the market had in the bull run. So if you need an indicator to give yourself more validation of getting out of the market at the top, you could potentially use that as a indicator. It's not going to guarantee anything, but again, the last two cycles, once we were bouncing off that 40% market dominance, that was a sign that the market was kind of, topping out. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comments. Let me know, what you guys think, kind of about, this type of analysis going back. Do you think that we could potentially see more gains during that time frame for some of those cryptos? Like I said, Solana made a 7.5x during the late December of 2020 into early March of 2021. It saw 7.5x. Do you think some of our favorite cryptos can see even more return since there's arguably going to be more liquidity? Or do you see it maybe not hitting as much because there's just so many cryptos that it's going to be more diluted? So maybe we might see half of that, like a 3x or something. Just interested to know what you guys think about that. But again, I would highly recommend and go through some of the older cryptos, and you'll see the same kind of pattern that like they all started moving around the same time, and they all kind of hit a slight initial peak out into like early Q1 of, or like later Q1 of the last year of the cycle. So let me know in the comments what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.